DJ all the way. It's a coach. You're immersed in the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, running back David Johnson, fresh off 100 yards on the ground a week ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Arizona Cardinals. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are about 15 miles west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Minnesota Vikings and the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Cardinal team as they get ready here. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, it's been a great start to the season. Back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him the win. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move. Laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. an absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation. People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Off the play fake, Cousins. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
So on 4th down, they bring on the Michigan man, Matt Wild, to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. Taken in at the 22. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll get this up to about the 40. On the stop there defensively, Marcus May with the tackle. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well.
And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. They lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Flush to his right. And an alley to run. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Someone knew exactly where he needed to get to pick up that 1st down. Now, I'm not so sure about the technique in getting there, but he went for it, and he got it.
Exactly. He knew where he needed to get, because remember, if he slides, when that derriere dips, if you will, that play's over.
The derriere dips, I like that one.
Yeah, been working on it for a little bit. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Open receiver, that's David Njoku.
Missed.
He will not go down. They'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
This offense 2 for 2 on 3rd downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long. Here's Rosen to throw. Buying, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And now out is the Cardinal field goal team here. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And this one is right through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. Don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock down, but it wouldn't bring up 2nd down.
And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Now Cousins. And complete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. A nice job of bringing that in, but why was he so close to the sideline there? They had all kinds of room in the flat.
A little bit of a lack of coordination between him and the quarterback because both of them should have seen that room that was available, that space. Stop your route a little bit shorter, put it on him, and let him turn and get upfield.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. For most teams, run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
To throw is Rosen. Flushed out right. There's the Washington Husky. It's Dante Pettis. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They go play action here on first down. And his throw is incomplete. He was trying to get it to his tight end, David Njoku. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
And he held on to it, but he probably shouldn't have as they get him behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
Leopard!
From midfield now, here's Rosen. Being chased out left. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. The numbers a week ago for Cook. 18 carries, 71 yards, and a touchdown.
They've won 2 straight games, and they've done it with the running game as the focal point of their offense. So in this contest, I don't think about doing anything else. I continue to ride the hot hand that I've established and lead with the runners.
And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Throwing is Cousins. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 48. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
Johnson. And down inside the 15 he goes. The numbers for Johnson in last week's game: 12 carries, 129 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means.
He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Christian Kirk, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to balance that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. To throw, Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And all the way inside the 35 before he goes out of bounds.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after catch, and it came on a crossing route. I could just hear one of my friends who won 4 Super Bowls as a quarterback always said the same thing. What route does the defense hate? Crossing route. Hate it, hate it, hate it, because it's hard to change direction when they get going full speed in the other way.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. but you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now a second down throw for Cousins. This will be caught at about the 6. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Cousins to his tight end Rudolph for a Viking first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Cousins now. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on first and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. Throwing, Cousins. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Six plays got him down here. This is play number 7, third and goal. From the gun, here's Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robbie Anderson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings have made this now a one-score. They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for. And this touchdown will count. Hopkins with the extra point, and that'll cut it to 3 at 10-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. They're starting to pull away with this one. Early on that first quarter, they didn't look so great offensively. What has changed?
Sometimes it's just a matter of doing what you plan to do better. Sometimes you just put that all together and you execute. Other times it's just a simple adjustment in your game plan, finding a spot that maybe was a little weaker than maybe you thought, and going to that. So many different things, so many different ways, but right now, you got to like what they're doing. They have put distance between themselves and their opponent.
Looking to add on here in the second quarter. Rosen will throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Hurry up, here we go.
On second down, Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Steps away to his left. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Kirk Cousins now gearing up to lead this offense back out there. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get him back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
Well, so far he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that 2nd touchdown now. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know. Defensive
Still
end,
2nd down.
he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty. Cook following the penalty. And he works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football.
Still 3rd down.
Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
So that last penalty making this 3rd down much more manageable. 3rd down, 4 yards to go. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Throws right side, and that's complete. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And some room to roam now. Swat. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to make this a close game again. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match than a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Pass interference, defense.
So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. And that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
But we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Now Rosen looking to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Njoku, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And no doubt he's come out of the gate strong, only in week 3, and you see the numbers thus far.
And we always talk about identity, setting a tone, you know, getting the groundwork laid for the season or for a game. And that's what they've done with the running game so far. It reminds me of when I first went to the University of Tennessee. And believe it or not, I was a quarterback for a day and a half. And the first practice session, the first play we ran was 28 pitch, which is a toss sweep. And I remember the offense coordinator saying, that's our identity, that's our bread and butter, that's the basis of our offense. We got to get that down right here, right now. I think we're seeing some of that in this running game here.
So did you not get that down, and that's why you were moved to the defense, or what?
I don't know for that reason, but I do know I saw a couple of guys throw, and immediately they were saying, you know, you need to learn how to backpedal.
Hey, you turn into a heck of a DB, though, partner. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
A second down throw for Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
And that's now the second time he's picked off a pass here in the first half alone. Again, another great read defensively, and you just see him get in the right position to make the play and get his guys the football back.
Now a 10th carry for Johnson, and he'll get inside the 40 to maybe the 38-yard line. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On second down, here's Rosen. He's going to fire one deep. And the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number one. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Down at the 2. Broke through the first contact, but ultimately stopped short of the goal line. That gets him 3 yards closer here as it brings up second and goal. Now it's Rosen. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Dante Pettis in the final seconds of the first half. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out first and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
Final play of the half, Cousins. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away at second down. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. And we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even if
David Johnson on his way. The 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his second touchdown on the season, and the Cardinals will extend their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end. Zone.
Extra point right down the middle. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Wide open receiver complete. The 30, 10, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Robbie Anderson, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just a bit.
Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his second touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep them in it.
Yeah, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Part of it is going to be 15 yards.
Excellent field position after the penalty. 1st and 10 out near midfield.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
They go play action. It's Rosen. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Now let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff. Johnson. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Now let's go.
Again, it's Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. The wrist seems fine. The legs were never a problem as DJ's in the backfield again on 1st and 10.
Now let's go.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now let's go. 319. 319.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Let's go. 1-9.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Rosen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team.
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Point after, right down. Down the middle. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
First down, here's the run with Cook. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to look deep down the field. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. That brings up 3rd down.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Wide open receiver complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Encroachment, defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. So a 1st and 5 now after the 5-yard penalty from the neutral zone infraction. Play fake, Cousins. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard. The first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
They'll try and run for it with Kelly. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the 1st.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
And I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on,
one?
what does that mean, break out that just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10 right at the 30.
Patriot!
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there, and that's run the football.
And they'll throw it with Rosen. Over the middle, he finds Pettis complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball.
And now a fumble. The ball's out, and this belongs to the Vikings. Often on fumbles, you look at a guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free, creating something good for your team.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Complete to Newsom. There he goes right side. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the fumble recovery leads to 6 points for the Vikings. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So out now come the Cardinals. They've got the 2-score lead. Look, though, they fumbled last possession, led to a touchdown. So while things look good here at this stage in the 4th, they got to be careful.
They definitely do because they've actually brought them back into it, haven't they? They've given them hope once again. Their purpose on this drive, squash that hope one more time.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Rosen. That's Njoku over the middle. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards on the play. Well, I'm sure he likes this performance a little bit better than last week. He had the 3 interceptions here, none in the fourth quarter, and he's got his guys in front.
Guaranteed he put in a tremendous amount of work this week, but maybe the matchup is just better for him. Sometimes it just doesn't work out. It's almost like those golfers. Certain courses fit their eye, and they like what they see, and other courses, as soon as they tee it up, they know they have no shot. Maybe that's the difference for him. Last week, no. This week, a big yes. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Here's Rosen to throw, and his pass incomplete. Charles, thinking back to what you said in the first quarter, that part of the magic elixir for a road victory for these underdogs was going to be winning the turnover battle. Well, they only have one right now. Look at the scoreboard.
Yeah, not exactly playing to the form that I subscribed, right? When you talk about winning that turnover battle, that evens things out, especially for a road team, especially for a team that's an underdog.
He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Detroit!
On third down, Rosen. Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things in.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got it complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Fourth quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You've got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for third down. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And he takes it all the way down to the 28-yard line. A big play for the Vikings on third down. 44 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Cousins looking middle, and that's complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got it 1st and goal as they look to punch in a late score. Cousins again. This will be caught at about the 5. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Nice gain of 8 that time, but it's 2nd and goal. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
A drive that time of 6 plays. And it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Here's Hopkins now out to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
So they come up on second down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. And Rosen's actually going to throw it here. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Cardinals on third down. They've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now it's Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Back to throw.
Partner, they're clearly...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman?
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
With the Eagles?
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Another timeout called by the Vikings now. As it comes with 1:04 left to go in the game. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. As they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. The Cardinals on 3rd down. Now, they've converted 7 times and could use another right now. Here it's 3rd and 2. Throwing now is Rosen. He's got his tight end, Njoku. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory. And this defense, they needed that one more stop to have any chance, but that completion, that's likely going to seal their fate.
And you could hear it in your voice, that one more stop.
I feel their pain.
Oh, it was so important. They just didn't get it done. Wow, what a way to finish this one off.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves.